Since the dawn of time, battles have been fought. Some won, others not so fortunate. In the midst of tranquility, a battle of a different kind is raging. The Battle of the Minds.
Welcome to yet another exciting episode of The Battlefield. We are back again, and as usual, we have two schools competing up against each other. My name is Geraldine Mandengenda, but you can call me GD, and today in the building, to my right, I'm joined by Herentals Primary School, and I'm just going to leave them to introduce themselves.
Herentals Primary, we rise and rise and rise. My name is Dion Chimeza, and I'm a grade 7 learner at Herentals Primary. At my left, I have
Adorable Nyat. I am a grade 6 learner at Herentals Private Primary School.
And at my right, I
am Tadisa Gwindi from Herentals. I am a grade 7 student.
We are here to take down Kirkman Primary School.
To my left, I'm joined by Kirkman Primary School. What do you have prepared for us today?
Kirkman Primary School, storage of knowledge, Durare Ruzivo. My name is Ryan Mbojuku, a grade 7. On my left I got Vincent Chambati, a grade 6, and on my right I got Shalom Guerrere, also a grade 6. We are all from Kirkman Primary School, and I yet to wish them a fair match, wish Herentals a fair match.
Okay, so as usual, we have 5 rounds. We have English, we have science and technology, we have heritage studies, mathematics, and agriculture. And if it so happens that they have the same points and they have ties, then we go into the sudden death session. So let's just get straight into the English language session. Are you guys ready for this one?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And the first question for the English session is, these are propositions. In our country, no one is dash the law. In our country, no one is dash the law. So it could be in, at, or above. Okay. Are we ready?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can raise our boards now. Okay, so the correct answer that we're looking for is above. In our country, no one is above the law, and both of the schools got it correct. Let's give it up for them. Okay, so the second question for the day is still in propositions. I look forward dash seeing you next week. I look forward dash seeing you next week. So it could be either I look forward over, in, at, for, or to. Over, in, at, for, or to. Seeing you next week. Which one are you going to go for? Okay, are we done?
Yes.
All right, we can raise our boards now. Okay, so the correct one that we're looking for is I look forward to seeing you next week, and both of the schools got it correct. Okay, let's give it up for them. Round of applause, please, audience. Okay, so the third question for the day is, I told my father my problem and he promised to look dash it. I told my father my problem and he promised to look dash it. So it could be either after, into, off, in, or through. Are we done? Yes. All right, so we can all raise our boards, please. All right, and the correct answer that we're looking for is into, and both schools got it correct. Audience, please, round of applause. All right, it seems like things are looking up. So far, so good, and I'm quite impressed. And our fourth question for this session is, what is the past tense of kneel? What is the past tense of kneel? The past tense of kneel. Okay? We have about 30 seconds to go. All right, it seems like Herentials is done. And we're just waiting on Kirkman to finalize their answer. And you raise your boards. Are we done? Yes. All right, can we raise our boards, please? And the correct answer that we're looking for is indeed knelt. And both of the schools got it correct. Round of applause, please. Okay, and the fifth and final question for the English session is, what is the past tense of catch? What is the past tense of catch? Are we done? Yes. All right, can we all raise our boards, please? All right, and the correct answer that we're looking for is caught. And well done, well done. That's good. Okay, so moving on right now, we are going to the science and technology. All right, so right now, science and technology. And the first question for the science and technology session is state 3 properties of water that you know of. 3 properties of water. State 3 properties of water. Okay, please don't shout your answers. It's better to whisper your answer, okay? All right, so I'll give you about 45 seconds to go to finalize your answers. And it seems like Herentials has already written down their answer. We're just waiting on Kirkman to finalize their answers. Okay. All right, are we done? Okay, are we done? Okay, let's raise our boards. Okay, so the correct answers that we are looking for are colorless, tasteless, and shapeless. So we have colorless, odorless, and take the shape of a container. Don't rub, please. And you wrote solid, liquid, and gas. Okay, that's a full mark there. And unfortunately for Herentials, you didn't get it correct. Okay. All right. So moving on to this to the second question under science and tech, identify any 2 underground sources of water that you know of. Any 2 underground sources of water. Seems like Kirkman is done. Herentials, are you done? Yes. Okay, raise your boards, please. Okay, and the correct answers that we are looking for are spring, aquifer, borehole. All right, you wrote spring and well and pumps. Okay, so Kirkman's going to give a half mark and you guys are correct. Okay, so moving on to the next question. Give us any methods of purifying water. What are the methods of purifying water that you know of? Still under science and technology, methods of purifying water that you know of. Are we done? Kirkman? Herentials? Okay, so methods of purifying water, we have filtration and distillation. So you wrote boiling, distillation, boiling, and filtration. All right, it seems like both of the answers are correct. Yes, both of the answers are correct. Round of applause, please. Okay, so we have 2 more questions to go before we round off the session of science and technology. So right now we're just going to take a short break. Welcome back. You're still watching The Battlefield. And right now we are still under the science and technology session. So yes, we're just going to move on with the science and technology session. We have 2 more questions before we finalize the session. And the 4th question in this session is, name 3 man-made sources of water that you know of. 3 man-made sources of water. So you guys have about 60 seconds to come up with your answers and raise your boards when you're done, and try to cover up your answers as well. 3 man-made sources of water that you know of. Herentials, are we still finalizing our answer? Okay, so everyone's done, so you can raise your boards now. Borehole well, dam and dam, borehole, ramps. And the correct answers that we're looking for are tap, well, and borehole. All right. So Rentals, well done to you. You get a full mark, and the other one gets half a mark. Kirkman Primary School. All right. So moving on with our session, still under science and tech. The last question for the session: we can get water aquifer through what? Okay. Are we done, or are we still deliberating on our answers? Okay. So can we raise our boards, please? Okay, so the correct answer that we're looking for is digging wells or digging boreholes. That is how we get water aquifer, and unfortunately both of you didn't get the correct answer there. Okay, so moving on, we go to another session, and right now it's all about our heritage, our country, where we're coming from, our culture, most of it, and you know what we've actually grown up knowing through our lives. So are we ready for this? Are you sure? Yes, ma'am. Okay, so the first question for the heritage studies is: which animal is known for its smartness? Which animal is known for its smartness? Are we done? Yes. Both of us? Yes. All right, so can we please raise our boards? Okay, so the answer that we're looking for is a monkey. Okay, so both schools are actually going to get half marks for that, because a zebra and a cat are also known for being smart, and it's not only a monkey. So half marks to Harrenchals, and half a mark as well to Kirkman Primary School. So moving on to the next question: what name is given to a system of governance defined by the majority rule or majority vote? What name is given to a system of governance defined by the majority rule or majority vote? Okay, so can we please raise our boards? Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. So the correct answer that we're looking for is democratic government, and both schools got it correct. And the third question under heritage studies is: which two spirit mediums were captured and executed together on the 27th of April 1898? Which two spirit mediums were captured and executed together on the 27th of April 1898? Are we done, Harrenchals? Okay, Kirkman, we'll give you a few more seconds to go before you raise your board. Okay, are we done? Yes, ma'am. All right, so the correct answers that we're looking for, Buyane and Sekuruka Guvi, and yes, both schools got it correct. Okay, so moving on to the fourth question under heritage studies: what name defines the state of being male or female? What name defines the state of being male or female? I'm just going to give you about 40 seconds. Kirkman Primary School, seems like Harrenchals has already finalized their answer. Are we done? Yeah. All right, let's raise our boards, please. Okay, so the correct answer that we're looking for is gender, and both of the schools got it correct. Let's give them a round of applause. Okay, and the fifth and final question for this session under heritage studies is: which country resolved its conflicts with the colonial masters in Lancaster, London? Which country resolved its conflicts with the colonial masters in Lancaster, London? I'm just going to give you about 60 seconds to come up with your answers. And it seems like Harrenchal has already finalized on their answer. Please try to cover up your answers. Are we done, Kirkman? Yes, Okay, Herentials, let us raise our boards, please. Okay, and the correct answer that we're looking for is indeed Zimbabwe, and both of the schools got it correct. So that was the final question under heritage studies, and so far things are looking up for both teams. Moving on, we go on to the mathematics session. Okay, so let's jump straight into the session. And the first question for the mathematics session is: a length of a rectangle is 9 meters. Its width is 8 meters. Calculate its area. If the length of a rectangle is 9 meters and its width is 8 meters, calculate its area. The area. What is the area? All right, it seems like Herentials. Okay, they're still calculating as well. So I'm just going to give you a few more seconds since you guys need to do your calculations properly. And tell me when you're ready. Herentials, are we ready? Kirkman? All right, please raise your boards. Okay, we have 71 and we have 72. All right, so the correct answer that we're looking for is 72 squared meters is the correct one. So unfortunately, Kirkman wrote 71 and they got it wrong there, and this one goes to Herentials. Okay, so the second question is what shape are the cells of a honeycomb? What shape are the cells of a honeycomb? We have A, circle, B, hexagon, C, square, D, octagon. Which shape are the cells of a honeycomb? A, circle, B, hexagon, C, square, and D, octagon. So are we done? Yes. All right, let's raise our boards, please. Okay, so the correct answer that we're looking for is hexagon, and this one goes to Kirkman Primary School. Unfortunately, Herentials got it wrong, but for now we're just going to take a short break. Welcome back. You're still watching The Battlefield, and right now we are back. We're still in the mathematics session, so we're just going to move on with our session, and we still have about 3 more questions to go before we finalize the mathematics session. So the third question for this session is: write 2 leap years between 1980 and 1990. Write 2 leap years between 1980 and 1990. 2 leap years. So I'm just going to give you 60 seconds to finalize your answers, and then you raise your boards after that 60 seconds. But if you're done, you can raise them. Okay, write 2 leap years between 1980 and 1990. All right, so I'll give you 20 more seconds to go before you raise your boards. It seems like they're still deliberating. It seems like this one is a bit of a tough one for them, but I'm sure they can crack pretty much anything. Okay. Are we done, Herentials? Yes, and Kirkman?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you raise your boards, please? Okay, so we have 1984 and 1988, 1980 and 1984. So unfortunately, you wrote only 1984. That's the correct one, and you got them both of them correct. So 4 marks to them, and do they get a half a mark? Yes, half a mark to Kirkman Primary School. Okay, so we move on with our session under mathematics, and the fourth question for this session is write 2018 and Roman numerals. 2018, 2008, 2018, 2018 in Roman numerals. Yes, so we're going to give you about 50 seconds before you wrap up your answers. Write 2018 or 2018 and Roman numerals. It seems like both of the teams are still trying to finalize their answers there. So we're just going to give you guys at least about 30 more seconds to go before you wrap up your answers. 2018 and Roman numerals. Are we done, Harrenchels Primary School? All right, please cover up your answers, Kirkman. Are we done?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, raise your boards, please. Okay, X V 1 1. We've got an 1 1 1. MX V 111. All right, it seems like both schools actually got it correct. Well done. Well done. Give it up for them, guys. Okay, so the last and final question for the mathematics session is 1,000 grams is equivalent to how many kilograms? Okay, seems like Kirkman is done. We're just waiting on Harrenchels Primary School to wrap up their answer. 1,000 grams is equivalent to how many kilograms? Okay, are we done? All right, let's raise our boards, please. Yes, and the correct answer we're looking for is 1 kilogram, 1 kg. That's correct, and both schools got it correct. Okay, so that was the final question under the mathematics session, and it was pretty good. It was pretty good. It went pretty well. And right now, we're just going to move on to our agriculture session. So the first question under the agriculture session, and are you guys ready for the question? Okay, is identify any 3 plants nutrients. Identify any 3 plant nutrients. Identify any 3 that you know of. Okay, I'm going to give you guys about 40 seconds before you wrap up your answers. Okay. Okay, it seems like Kirkman Primary School is already done and they've finalized their answers. Please to try and cover up your answers, and we're waiting on Harrenchels. 20 more seconds to go before you raise your boards. Okay, any 3 plant nutrients that you know of. Okay, are we done?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's just wait on Harrenchels. 10 more seconds to go before they wrap up their answer. Harrenchels Primary School, we're waiting on you. 5 more seconds to go. 5, 4, you're done. All right, you can raise your boards now. Okay. Nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus, and indeed we're looking for nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, and all of you guys got it correct. And the second question under the agriculture section is, what is a plantation? What is a plantation? Can you define what a plantation is? Okay, so we're looking for a correct and proper definition of what a plantation is. And it seems like Harrenchels Primary School is already done, and Kirkman as well. Are we done? Yes. All right, let's raise our boards, please. All right, so can you just read out your definition? A group of crops.
A group of crops grown on an open piece of land.
Okay, and
An area where multiple plants are grown.
okay, and the definition that we're looking for is a land consisting of one type of plant or crop. For example, bananas, it could be a banana plantation or an orange plantation. So unfortunately, both of you got it wrong. And moving on to our next question, what are fodder crops? What are fodder crops? Harrenchels, are we done?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, so we're just waiting on Kirkman Primary School to finalize their answer. And are you done? Yes. All right, let us raise our boards and define, read out our crops grown to feed animals, crops that have shells. All right, and the correct answer that we're looking for are crops grown for animal feed, and that is correct. And unfortunately, Kirkman got that one wrong. So, Harrenchels, you get a mark for that one. So, yes. The next question is define transpiration. what is transpiration, or define what transpiration is all about. Please make sure that you cover up your answers. And it seems like Kirkman is done. And we're just waiting on Herentials Primary School to wrap up their answer before they raise their boards. And they're done. Are you done? Okay, so let's raise our boards, please. When plants release water and is when leaves lose water. And yes, the correct answer that we're looking for is loss of water through the leaves. So they highlighted leaves and plants. They're both correct. Okay, that's fine. So our last question on this session is two function of roots. What are the two functions of roots? The clock is ticking. And make sure you cover up your answers, please, and don't shout. It's better to whisper. Okay, and this is the last question on the agriculture session. Two functions of roots. All right, everyone's done. So can you please raise your boards? Okay, and you wrote collect water and nutrients to bind the soil, to store food, absorb nutrients. And the correct answer that we're looking for is to anchor or make plants firm, or to absorb nutrients, bind soil together. Both answers are correct. All right, so that was the last question under the agriculture session, and that's our final session for the day. But right now we just want to hear how the results are looking like, and we'll be back with the results in a bit. Take it away. Okay, so the moment we've all been waiting for is finally here. The results are in. And yes, we're about to see who took the cap today. All right, so the results are in. And I would like to say congratulations to Herentials Primary School. They're coming in with 1 or 2 points. So give it up for them. And Kirkman Primary School is coming in with 97 points. Unfortunately, you guys didn't make it today, but it wasn't bad. So let's give it up for them as well. A round of applause, please. All right, so thank you so much for coming through today. It was such a great pleasure having everyone. And to Herentials Primary School, congratulations once again. My name is Geraldine Mandengenda, and this was Battlefield. Until next time, pleasant viewing.
Since the dawn of time, battles have been fought. Some won, others not so fortunate. In the midst of tranquility, a battle of a different kind is raging. The battle of the minds.